Good afternoon and welcome to the Summer 2016 Commencement. My name is Sherrod Williams and I have the great pleasure of serving as the Director of the Academic Internship Program for the Washington Center. This has been a long and hot and humid summer. We can all agree on that, right? But hopefully it's been packed with great experiences that have taken place in your courses, your lead colloquium, and your internships. You all have had the opportunity to gain some valuable experience throughout the process. And today we reflect on our journey together and celebrate the accomplishments within our community that you should feel proud of that you achieved this summer. Today, we will have various members of our internship class speak. We will recognize several interns for their contributions to the Washington Center, and we will be encouraged and inspired by all the different speeches that we will have today. Speaking of that, we will bring up our first speaker, Mr. Jonathan Mateig. Come on up. A few words. Just a couple of things on why they're cheering for Jonathan. Jonathan attends Suffolk University in Boston, Massachusetts with a double major in government and economics, highly involved in his hometown as well as his university. He finds passion in helping others and making a positive impact throughout life. He has spent his summer interning for Grant Thornton in their Government Affairs Department, which focuses on public policy. Jonathan is also in the public policy professional track, and Danielle Samsing is his lead instructor. I would like to invite Jonathan Mateig to the podium.
Good afternoon and welcome. We all have a story to tell. We all have experiences that bring us through life and onto different paths. My name is Jonathan Mateig, and I'm from Saugus, Massachusetts, which is only about 15 minutes north of Boston. And for the students who didn't know my real name, you probably refer to me as the one with the Boston accent. And if that was the case, we'll just clear the air here. You cannot, nor have you ever been able to, park your car in Harvard Yard. You just can't. You can't. But my hometown, like many of yours, has faced challenges that have seemed impossible to overcome. Some of those challenges are related to our youth within our communities, such as our local recreation departments, the parks and playgrounds, and most importantly, the public school system. I saw these challenges within my hometown and asked myself, how could I bring effective change to my community? Something to remember is that something is only impossible when you yourself decide it is impossible. I learned growing up that if you don't like something, do something. After graduating from Saugus High School, a place I was highly involved in, I saw that opportunity to do something just over a year ago. Long conversations about whether or not to take that opportunity happened with family, friends, and local community members. With such a positive response, I decided at the age of 19 years old to put my name on the ballot in Saugus, to run for the position of town meeting member to represent my precinct. Our communities have given so much to us, whether that's a place to call home, a public school education, or even that great sandwich shop down the street we all love. But I truly believe that we need to dive into our communities and give back. I truly believe that we need to do that. I campaigned day in and day out, knocking on more than 1,000 doors, holding signs, recruiting family and friends to volunteer, and educating myself extensively on my town's issues as well as our successes. People would tell me I was too young, too inexperienced, and wasn't going to win. But with all the hard work and dedication that I put in and my team, I ended up topping the ticket and successfully became an elected town meeting member in my community. Some of us here at the Washington Center may have imagined that these opportunities, this access that we have received this summer, would have been impossible anywhere else. Whether that was working for the Metropolitan Police Department, a law firm, a research center, or so many other amazing places. Throughout life, we encounter many experiences, and this is one of them. We have been given the opportunity this summer. We have learned a great deal that will continuously open doors for us in the future. We have spent countless hours volunteering, interning, speaking, and writing papers this summer. We have also explored one of the greatest cities in the United States on our days and weekends off. We now know something that we may not have known of 10 weeks ago, and that is we are the future generation of leadership. We are going to be the future doctors and lawyers, the politicians and the police officers, the business owners and the researchers. Our nation and our world is so divided, and that's no secret. So it's now time for us to change that. We will face challenges because of our age, the color of our skin, our backgrounds, and our gender. But it is us in this room that knows that bigotry and hate will never win, and that kindness and compassion will always be the answer. And by working together to accomplish greatness is and will be the only way to move forward. I was recently at a Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee event. There, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, an enthusiastic speaker who left us all with a quote that has opened my eyes. That quote is, "We drink liberty, freedom, and opportunity from the wells in which we did not dig." Meaning that we are fighting over things that we did not make, things that we did not spend time doing and building. He said, instead of continuing to fight, let's start working together to build a new legacy for future generations to admire and be a part of. I believe that is exactly what we have done this summer. We started building that foundation towards a better future because we asked the tough questions to the panelists who have sat where I am standing today. We have worked alongside the science, the business, media, government, and so many other great industries in the nation's capital. We have been engaged and active in a community away from home, whether that was helping at an animal shelter, the jazz festival, or even cultivating the city. Through it all, we have tirelessly and continuously worked together. The cliche thing to say here would be that our story is not over, just another chapter has been read. And if that's the case, I'm here to tell you all today to go out there and never, ever, ever stop writing your story. Go into this world and design that foundation's website. Start that community group to make a difference in youth education. Clean up your local parks and playgrounds and write that editorial for the university newspaper. Start that new club or nonprofit you've always wanted to, because it is time for our generation to step up to the plate and to take a stand before it's too late. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do not like something, then go out there and do something about it. In just under 10 weeks, we have gained valuable skills and experience, as well as a wide network of people who we can now pick up the phone and call and join us in our future missions. We have been given the tools and resources necessary to change and unite this divided world, but it is us who knows that how we choose to use those will ultimately decide the future for generations beyond us. I'd like to thank the Washington Center for exposing us to the nation's capital, for showing us the ropes along the way, and for giving us a transformational experience. Good luck to everyone in their future. I look forward to seeing and working with you all when the time comes. Thank you.
Luckily, I don't have to follow him with a speech, but someone will. So I would like to introduce everyone to our president-elect, Chris Norton, who is going to give us some remarks.
As Sherrod says, you never want to follow a student at commencement. It's incredibly dangerous, and I'm very impressed, Jonathan. And if I can fill out an absentee ballot for you, just let me know. Can I quickly just ask the lead instructors to stand up who are here? Are they here? They're here. And I'd like you all to give them a round of applause. Thank you guys very much. Listen, these guys are here for you. They work incredibly hard, long hours. And as you know, this summer, not only was it hot, there was some activity here that needed a lot of attention. And I feel very proud that these folks were here and to help you guys get through these 10 weeks. 41 years ago, another fellow from Massachusetts, Bill Burke, started an internship program in Washington and has now become the largest internship program in the country, from which you are now all graduates. Bill Burke was a uniquely passionate man and an advocate for the college students learning lifelong lessons through the combination of work and reflection. This was his life calling, to give college students like you a chance to apply what you had learned in the classroom to real life experience. He wanted you to explore with intensity within a laboratory of professional development. But even more importantly, he wanted you to be leaders in your communities. So we've already seen that continues to live on in all of you. And I couldn't agree more. You know, the intersection of the theoretical and the practical is where we witness growth and understanding. We hope you've learned new tools from which to launch a career of your choice, to take on any opportunity and dare to reach beyond your circumstances. Success is never limited to recognition that you might garner, but rather in the satisfaction that each and every one of you have been challenged to expand your horizons through better understanding of yourself and the world around you, prepared for a life of achievement and purpose. Never forget, the self-examined life is a life well lived and the foundation for true happiness. Use the tools you've learned both on the job and during your lead instructorship sessions to continue to question and reflect on intellectual experiences in pursuit of the life of the mind. You've also seen the importance of connectivity. Today's world demands it. And it's remarkable that I'm telling you guys that, because this is the life you live. It's not the life I grew up in. It was much harder for us to build relationships and networks. And as Jonathan was alluding to, this room is filled with the future leaders of tomorrow. You all can benefit from staying connected. Not only can you benefit from staying connected with each other, which I hope you'll do, but you can stay connected to 60,000 alums of the Washington Center who are out there and willing to help. You have to ask, though. And so I encourage you to stay not only connected to yourselves, but use those resources. The people you got to know this summer at your internship sites, stay connected to them. Maintain that relationship, the friendship. It'll come back and help you in the future. And if those alums don't respond, let me know, because I'll stick Jonathan on them. And I don't think So how fast have these 10 weeks flown by? Right? You only just got here, right? So I ask you to try to remember the moments when you experienced something truly exceptional. And for me, it was several weeks ago, right here in this room, during a Simpson and Nettis lecture series with Steve Scully, April Ryan, and Matt Schlapp. You all engaged with each other in a lively and contentious dialogue. And that's probably a nice way to put it. But what I observed was a level of discourse sorely missing in the national discourse. You showed respect for each other's points of view, thus improving the quality of the discussion. You pressed each other on your convictions, but you listened. You were passionate about your views, and it was evident to me that the courage you showed in expressing those views came from a sense of truth and belief. Well-formed views, studied and pondered. It's important that we all take lessons from that session, an appreciation for the process of debate. Remember always that one never learns anything when you're the one talking. Listening is a special tool, not always used, but always essential to reconciliation. Sometimes you'll find that you won't be able to change another's mind, but understanding their point of view is essential if you hope to find a path to a more and lasting reconciliation and resolution. Moments like these can last a lifetime. Wordsworth said, "There are special pockets of time from which our whole lives are made." Mark Twain liked to say, "Never let your school get in the way of your education." For the last 10 weeks, you have been living lives of energy and engagement, far away from your campuses. I hope it has been a rewarding and meaningful experience, and you've learned more about yourselves, your capabilities, and the skills required to become professionals in big demand in the future. I hope that the memories gained during your stay with us here in Washington will always remain a special pocket in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So throughout the semester, you have had the opportunity to recognize each other for demonstrations of qualities, including academic excellence, civic engagement, leadership, global citizenship, innovation, and professional growth. So now we're going to take some time to recognize the recipients of the awards in those various categories. Each nominee was evaluated based on interviews with the selection committee, feedback from peers and staff, as well as performance in academic, professional, and community life aspects of the program. And as we go into the awards, just to give a few instructions for our recipients, you will come to the front and be recognized. And so everyone knows, I'll read a brief bit from their nomination so you can know why they were chosen for these various honors. To begin, for the Academic Excellence Award for offering thoughtful contributions during programming or evening course, I would like to invite up Aspen Drood. Aspen Drood is a human resource management major at the University of West Florida. She is currently an operations management intern at a small startup company called Work America that works with skilled trades. Her lead instructor was Ms. Kovac, and her professional track is business and global trade. She is currently in the international business course with Mr. Laney and feels like she has grown a lot through that class. During our course, one of her peers writes, during her course case studies, Aspen went above and beyond and did additional research. She offered insights that are different from the norm. She spoke a lot in class referring to the case studies and answered the professor in ways that improved our class conversations. It was also mentioned during the vetting process that Aspen is absolutely fantastic. And she loves her internship, and she consistently engages in lead and provides value to class discussions. She would be very deserving of this award. Let's give another round of applause for Aspen. Next, for the Civic Engagement Award for demonstrating commitment to efforts which civic engagement or public policy dialogues, I would like to invite up William Humphreys. Or Billy to some. William Humphreys spent the summer working as a web content management intern at the National PTA. He is a Stockton University student focusing on applied physics with a minor in mathematics and computer science. He was a part of the Science, Technology, and Society professional track where he learned the principles of good leadership under lead instructor Chris Massaros. The semester at the Washington Center has truly been transformational and educational for him, and he was very thankful to have been part of this experience. In civic engagement, he completed over 29 hours of service throughout the DC area. Yes, very impressive. A couple of his peers wrote, I'm astonished by how committed Billy is with helping others. He is modest about the work he does, but those around him knows how much he has made a difference. When he's not working or helping others, he is looking at ways in which he can help others. Billy works hard and puts all into his civic engagement efforts. And another nominee wrote, "It became evident to me throughout the semester that Billy demonstrates passion, commitment, and sincerity in several civic engagement opportunities. Billy is my superhero." Let's give another round of applause for William Humphreys.
My generation.
All right. Our next award, for the Emerging Leader Award for fostering positive academic and professional development among peers through mentorship and example, I would like to invite up Carlos Andino. Carlos is entering his third year at Elon University with the plan of graduating with a degree in political science this May and aspirations of attending law school in the fall. He has spent his time here at the Washington Center pursuing the law and criminal justice professional track while studying the philosophy of law, the Supreme Court, and the U.S. constitutional tradition with Dr. Gross. With the help of his lead instructor, Christopher Massaros, Carlos has spent the last 10 weeks taking full advantage of a boutique law firm environment of Marzullo Law as a legal intern. After his experiences this summer, Carlos hopes to take his newly honed leadership skills to help lead his university's men's lacrosse country team, the debate clubs he enjoys, and to set an example of how to reach one's goals. Just a little bit from his nomination from some of his peers. I have had the pleasure of witnessing Carlos demonstrate his leadership qualities in the various environments, including but not limited to community life, his academic course, and in civic engagement. Carlos has been a leader in every regard of our community life. His knowledge of TWC and the greater DC area combined with his leadership abilities have made him an excellent resource. I would like to thank Carlos for all of this and more. Let's give Carlos another round of applause. Next, for the Global Citizenship Award for honoring diversity by fostering community among diverse TWC populations, I would like to invite up Mashadia Asi. Mashadia Asi is a mother of 3 children, a current senior at the University of Michigan Dearborn, working on dual degrees, a BS in biological sciences and a BA in criminal justice studies. She has a lot of time on her hands, right? Her professional track at TWC is criminal justice and law, and her lead instructor is Miss Melissa Gaskell. Mashadia is interning at ADC, which stands for Arabic American Anti-Discrimination Committee. She is in the Women's Empowerment Program. In addition, she is a part-time fellow teacher at the Global Language Network, teaching Arabic language to professionals. Here are excerpts from her nomination from her peers. Mashadia has proven to be a leader within the TWC culture. I have experienced firsthand how open she is to dialogue. I really believe she is a very strong woman who has demonstrated several times that it doesn't matter where you're from, what your background is, or what happened to you before. What matters is how you show your strength, and how that it's not only required to be a good person, but to be a caring friend and an amazing woman. And she is an example for all of the nations and for all the youth around the world. Another person said that she is a courageous woman that they're happy to have met. Let's give another round of applause for Mashadia. Next, for the Innovation Award for approaching academic and professional challenges as learning opportunities in developing creative solutions, I would like to invite Julie Eller. After the summer, Julie Eller will graduate from Stockton University with a bachelor's degree in public health. She looks forward to staying in DC to begin a full-time advocacy position at the Epilepsy Foundation. Julie has been so thankful for the endless support of the TWC community. She had the pleasure of learning from Sam LeBeau in her lead colloquium, and Christopher Massaros in the Advocacy, Service, and Arts Professional track, and Robert St. George in the Campaigning for a Cause evening course. Julie interned at the Arthritis Foundation, where she called on her experience as a patient to motivate her in her new role as an advocate. Julie was also selected to write her experiences this summer for the TWC blog. For Julie, the most rewarding parts of this program are not limited to moments of professional growth, but moments of personal growth as well. And just a little bit from her nomination. Throughout her interactions with Julie in both academic course and professional track, she has impressed me with thoughtful contributions, attention to detail, nuance, and critical thinking skills. She is clearly very engaged with the work, and her approach sets the tone for the entire class environment. She is such a passionate person for her field, and she is strong and will make a difference in her community. She exemplifies the TWC motto of experience transforms. Let's give her another round of applause. Now for our final award recipient. For the Professional Growth Award for striving for and showing progress in working in professional development goals, I would like to invite up Tevin Ali. Tevin is majoring in biotechnology with a minor in leadership at Florida Atlantic University. He works as a genetic research technician back in Florida, where he investigates cures for diseases such as cancer and Alzheimer's by designing drug-like compounds. His lead instructor is Kyle Birdman. His professional track is a science, technology, and society track. His internship site was STEM Connector, working with the STEM Higher Education Council. Tevin firmly believes in having the heart of a leader to empower, motivate, and inspire others through the flow of positive energy. And just to give you a few words from his nomination, Tevin has taken full advantage of this program by volunteering and getting involved in the various opportunities presented. He has gone above and beyond completing his direct service hours. He has also networked with other interns, as well as making a mark with the science community. He has made connections with Bill Nye, Nick Cannon, on top of it all. He has taken full advantage of this internship experience. Let's give another round of applause for Tevin. And let's give one big final round of applause for all of our award recipients for their leadership efforts. Next, I would like to bring up Christian Holm, Senior Coordinator of Alumni and Communication.
Thanks. Y'all don't have to do that. That's awful nice of you. My name is Christian Holm. I work with the Alumni Engagement Team here at the Washington Center. And in a moment, I'm going to have the pleasure of introducing our alumni speaker for today. But before I do that, just want to give you a brief look at what being a TWC alum is like and what you guys have in store. As you know, you're joining a pretty vast community. We have nearly 60,000 alums around the world, and it truly is a global alumni network. You all come from all over the world, so we have plenty of alumni out there wherever you land. And really, our mission here at Alumni Engagement is twofold. First, we want to provide you with engagement opportunities. We don't want your learning experience to stop here. You've been here for 10 weeks, but you're going to be alumni for the rest of your life. So we really want you to take advantage of that. The other aspect is we want you to give back because we think you have a lot to give back. We rely on alumni to do a lot in our organization, from internship site supervisors to coming in to speak with students to mentorship opportunities. And we think that you all have a lot to give. So if we can get you engaged and give you the opportunities to develop yourselves and continue learning, we'd call that mission accomplished. I'm going to give you a couple of things that I want you to go home and do when you guys get back. The first would be to connect with us on our social media channels. We're pretty active on Facebook, Twitter, and the big one here is we have an alumni LinkedIn community that is specifically for our alumni. And I can't stress enough how useful that network is for people. It's a great way to reach out to alumni, and if you're moving to a new city and you don't really know anyone, get in that group. See if somebody wants to meet you for a coffee, maybe somebody who can set you up with an informational interview, someone who can give you a tip, or maybe give you a tip on a job lead. We really think that channel is huge. We also have some great resources on our website, which is twc.edu/alumni. And we also have our alumni@twc.edu email address. So if there's any questions that we can answer, feel free to reach out anytime, because we love being helpful. Now I have the pleasure of introducing today's alumni speaker. All of our alumni speakers are pretty good. I have to say that. But today's is a really, you guys are in for a treat. Kim Barryman is a 2005 alum and a 2007 graduate of George Washington University. Kim is kind of the prototypical alumni for this program. She moved here to do the program in 2005, has been here since for the most part, and pretty much has just gone all in, never looked back. She just kind of came to DC, found something she was passionate about, and ran with it. And I think that's why you all are here in this room. And so she's somebody you guys need to hear from. So Kim, come on up. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I feel very old school. I've been an intern, like I said, since 2005. I did an internship in 2005, and I basically just never looked back. I sort of called my parents right around this time. I was a summer intern. Right around this time in August, I called my parents. I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay. So if you could just pack up my boxes. I think I got an internship. Wasn't as nice as this building, but I basically was like, you could just ship it there. I'll be home in a decade, right? So it took a little bit longer than that, but not by too much. I basically went home. Before I left for my summer here, I applied to George Washington University to be a transfer student. I was a junior, going into my junior year, so it seemed a little bit late. But I went to George Washington University, put in my application, naively went up to the admissions. I was like, this is good by September, right? I can just start the next semester. I don't want to leave. And they said, no, it'll take a little while longer. So I came in January. I went back home, got my stuff, did another semester, was accepted to GW as a transfer student in December, and then I moved back to DC in January. So if anyone in this room is feeling like maybe you want to stay, just a few more months, just hold on tight, get the application in. You can be here by January if you really want to. So since then, it's been about 10 years, like I said, or 11. And the thing is, it doesn't feel that long because I use the lessons that I learned here at the Washington Center every single day. It really feels, I was like, oh, you've been a graduate for 11 years. I was like, oh, God. It doesn't feel that way because I use the lessons that I learned and the strengths that I've gained this summer, again, right, 2005 summer, I use those things every day. I use them in my job at CNN. I use them at my job. I used to work at Good Morning America. I've had a lot of really amazing experiences that were all bred in a room like this with the Washington Center. So I'm going to try not to ramble on too long, but I'm going to just give you a couple of lessons that I learned as an intern and some of the lessons that I still use today and I'm still learning as I go. So everyone in this room is incredibly impressive. We've seen a lot of these award recipients and a lot of the alumni and a lot of the leaders. But I want you all to know as you leave this room with your chest out, like all proud, there's no job that you are too good to be doing as you go into your next internship or your next careers. That is the key. What you have right now as interns, you don't have a ton of experience, although you have vastly more than those not in the Washington Center. What you have is passion, you have drive, you have a fire inside you that brought you here 10 weeks ago and that has been nourished and made stronger since you've been here. You've gotten Kindle and newspaper and all this stuff right from these internships, from the speakers you've listened to. Use that fire and go out there and just burn, baby, burn, because you have to just go into your offices with enthusiasm. That's what you have to give right now. You don't have a resume 10 feet long, and you shouldn't. No one expects that. They want you to show up, be enthusiastic, and really just go for it. And in that manner, the jobs that are thrown at you are not always going to be the cool job or the one that gets you, on the newspaper or anything like that. A good example is when I was an intern, I worked at the Laura Ingraham show. I was a producer for her for the 10 weeks that I was here. For those of you that don't know her, she's kind of like the Rush Limbaugh girl version on the radio. So in that job, I was asked one day to stay after work because Laura was doing a photo shoot for our website to help promote this show. She had a couple of wardrobe changes, and I was really excited to be there. So she came out in kind of this like sheer blouse, but she had a black bra on it, just see it all. I thought, oh, okay, well, okay, maybe that's like the look we're going for. She says, Kim, what color bra do you have on? What are you talking about? Why are you asking me this? I don't understand. So I just lied through my teeth. I said, hot pink. I just picked like something that she wouldn't want. So I said, hot pink, hot pink. She goes, okay, well, I need someone to go get me a different bra because this isn't gonna work. So, it's not what the Washington Center had advertised. But I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go and do this. So I ran, I went to Victoria's Secret. I got like 5 different bras. I had no idea what size. Came back, photo shoot went well. The end. So these are the little things that you do with enthusiasm, with fire. Get all the bras. So you're gonna get thrown weird things, right? No one says that that's part of being a producer. No one says that that's part of being an intern. No one says that that's part of being a leader is to go do weird things like that. I can't tell you the number of stories I could share of other experiences that are just as bizarre in TV and in any other profession. So I know it's funny, but basically the moral of that is you're never too good to do things like that. And because you do things like that with enthusiasm and do a good job at that, they'll give you better things to do. That's how you grow. So if there were times in your internship this summer that were amazing, that's to be expected. This is the Washington Center. If there were times in your internship where you went and got coffee or undergarments, that's also part of the Washington Center. That's also part of being an intern and growing. Do those things with enthusiasm and don't stop, because I'm a professional producer now. I have been for about 10 years. I still do stuff like that. That's part of the gig. That's the end product. So that's lesson 1, always be enthusiastic. Lesson 2 is always make connections with the people that you wouldn't expect to help you. Everyone's gonna try and make a connection with the CEO or the vice president or whatever. The person that I made a connection with at the Laura Ingraham show was a guy that actually was never in the office, and that piqued my interest. I thought, who is this slacker? Can I have his job? Because he's not here and I'm graduating, so he seems like a good person to talk to. I asked him one day, I said, why are you never at work? What's your deal? Turns out he traveled with the White House. He was a press advance lead for the president and the vice president, meaning that he went ahead of time and set up the stage and the media presence and the kind of logistics, if you will, of all of the events that the president and the vice president did. I thought that sounded like the coolest thing in the world. So when I moved here, I kept in contact with him. I talked to him a lot during my internship. And then after I moved here, I said, hey, I'm here. I don't know anyone. You're literally the only person I know in all of the whole city. So if you ever need help, let me know. A couple months after I started at GW, he called me. He said, I have a weird question, but are you free this weekend? Well, yeah, I mean, oh sure, I guess. He said, we desperately need someone to help the vice president on this trip to Cincinnati. We had someone drop out, who turned out to be him, by the way. He dropped out. He had to go do something else, so he asked me to take his spot. I was 20 years old. I had no idea what to give, but I got to go. I got to go do the press advance, and after a while, we did a couple more trips with the vice president. I was on Air Force 2, things like that. I went with McCain. Those are the connections that you make this summer that might seem small now. Cherish those connections. You never know. The guy that doesn't show up at work, maybe it's because he's on Air Force 1. You don't know. So nourish those connections. Those are huge, and keep them. Even if it's someone that you just met last week, keep in touch. And I want to say this, I know that we can all be really connected with Facebook and all of that. Handwrite your notes. Find the address and handwrite those suckers, because that is gold here. Absolute gold is to keep in touch, obviously through email and things like that, but the handwritten thank you note after this summer will go beyond. At ABC, we had a cabinet of folders of all of our past interns, and those thank you notes were kept in their files. They're not to be thrown away. They really make you stand out. And then the last lesson that I learned while I was here that has brought me through is to start taking leaps. Really take that leap. Take the leap to move here if you really want to. Take the leap to go after the job. The Washington Center has given you the tools to be able to land pretty well. If you don't land pretty well, there's flights back to California or wherever you came from, that's fine. You can start over or take a different leap in another direction. But the regret that you'll have for not taking the leap is so much worse than if you didn't quite land how you wanted to. I took the leap to DC. I've loved it. I also took a leap to New York a couple years ago to Good Morning America. Didn't really love it, but here, there was a flight back. I'm okay. I'm good. So take the leaps. So basically, what I want to tell you is just don't be afraid to do the job that no one else wants to do or that you didn't expect that you would have to do. When you do it with enthusiasm, they give you more jobs and you get better at it. And that's what you have to give right now is enthusiasm and fire. Make those connections, keep those connections, handwrite your notes, please. And take the leap. Just take everything you've learned here and take that leap. And the last thing I'll leave you with is just what's so important from the Washington Center is that we all, as I alluded to in the beginning, we all have a fire here, right? We're all ambitious. We wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have signed up for the Washington Center if you didn't have a goal or a drive. What this room has that the other interns might not have, and that will sustain throughout as alumni and throughout the next coming years, is this drive and this passion that TWC will hone and keep for you and build for you as you do it over time. Keep educating yourself, keep making connections, stay in touch, and this fire inside is what employers see and love and cherish no matter what age you are. Just show up and be enthusiastic and use the tools that the Washington Center has given you, and like I said, burn baby burn.
Thank you. All right. So each term, we recognize an internship supervisor for their work with our interns here at the Washington Center. A few weeks ago, we had the great pleasure of recognizing Maya Petchel, Director of Human Resources for Special Olympics. I would like to now invite Yvonne Hermosillo and Maya Petchel to the podium. And now I will turn the podium over to Yvonne, who will give us some remarks about the award recipient.
Good afternoon, colleagues and guests. While interning at Special Olympics has been an amazing experience, it was working with my supervisor, Maya, that has been beyond exceptional. Working with Maya has instilled in me the confidence that I need to return to school with a positive attitude, knowing that the skills and contributions have value. Through the various projects like creating a global compensation analysis, updating supervisor training, and assisting in recruiting, Maya has guided and mentored me in highlighting my strengths and assisted me in areas of improvement. She is an exceptional individual who is not afraid to take on a challenge in her role as Director of Human Resources. She sees beyond the hurdles of working for a nonprofit and is willing to challenge the status quo to drive a positive culture transformation within Special Olympics. I'm honored to be able to spend my 10 weeks working with Maya and making a positive change. It is my privilege and honor to be able to present the Summer 2016 Internship Supervisor Award to Maya Petchel.
I'll say a few words. I am very honored to receive this, and I have to say that the real thing should go to the interns. In this case, Ivan has been amazing this 10 weeks, and the things he's been able to accomplish have been truly amazing. In a nonprofit, like you said, you do have a lot of hurdles, you have a lot of challenges, but there is a lot of meaning in working in a nonprofit. And one thing I can offer, we don't have a lot of resources. I can't offer the best stipends and perks and things like that, but what we can offer is meaningful work that hopefully will go a long way with our interns. So I appreciate Ivan's support this summer and the partnership with the Washington Center. It's been great.
All right. So we're almost to the end of our ceremony. And as we get ready to close and introduce our final student speaker, I just want to go ahead and get a couple of announcements out of the way. So much like your peers have shared today, you all have written your own stories this past semester. Some of those stories can be shared here today, but we know that there are countless more that have not been told. So we invite you to share your story and how you have been transformed this semester at www.twc.edu/stories. And we look forward to reading all about your experiences that you're going to share with us. Afterwards, after the ceremony is over, there will be a cake reception in the lounge. So make sure you come out and enjoy all of those refreshments. And in the lounge, you will also see some thank you note stations where you can leave notes to individual TWC staff members who have personally supported you during the semester. For example, your lead instructors, your alumni in residence, the concierge. We will not be able to deliver notes to your evening course professors or your peers. So please share your notes with your peers and your evening instructors through email or contacting them through other means. All right. So with further ado, I would like to introduce our closing intern speaker, Mr. Tevin Ali.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody feeling? All right, we're gonna bring some energy back to the room. So, how's everybody on this side doing? Doing good? All right, middle section represent. What's going on? You guys are the best. How's it going? All right. How about this side of the room? You guys doing good? All right. My name is Tevin Ali, and I'm a genetic scientist researcher studying at Florida Atlantic University. So I need everybody to do something for me. Can I get everybody to close their eyes? Don't fall asleep. So I want you to take a moment and imagine the best version of yourself. You're at your peak, you're at your height, and just observe, what are you doing? What is your environment like? You can open your eyes now. Now, I'd like to pose two questions to you. Now, ask yourself, how are you going to get to that best version of yourself? And two, are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Now, I'd like to introduce a concept to you. So, in my hand right here, I have a diamond. So deep within the Earth's crust, diamonds naturally transform. But that only occurs after they're exposed to extreme temperature and extreme pressure. Similarly enough, in life, we go through that process of transformation. We go through all sorts of pressures, stress, and experiences that shape us into who we are today, and eventually, the best versions of ourselves. When you go through life, you are forging your own inner diamond. Now, to extend on this analogy, I'd like to share with you three concepts that can help you shape your best self, so you, just like this diamond, can shine bright. So the first of these concepts is one, knowing your direction. So some of us here at TWC, we have just graduated college, or we are nearing our college graduation. We make up the largest amount of college attendees in history. Many students are graduating with majors, but very few are graduating with missions. We need students to graduate with missions to change this job-driven economy. So my parents, both born and raised in a small island in the Caribbean called Trinidad, they represent. They did not have a college education, but they knew the direction they wanted their kids to have. And they moved to this country to give me a better life, to grant me more opportunities, and to help align my compass. But as a first-generation college student, it was a struggle for me. I had no direction, I had no crafted mission. And I'm no different from many of you. I feel lost and unsure of myself all the time. And even though I'm standing up here on this podium right now, I'm not gonna pretend I'm the smartest person in the room, because I'm not. I don't have the highest GPA, I struggled and I failed countless of times. But you wanna know something? That's okay. Because all of the uncertainty and low points in my life, where I felt like a complete failure because of my grades, or having people tell me that I can't achieve or do something, that gave me a sense of direction. Being at a low point in my life has taught me to overcome the fear of uncertainty, to overcome the fear of feeling that you will never be good enough, and to overcome the fear of caring of what others think or perceive you to be. Because at the end of the day, you only have two choices when it comes with fear. There are two acronyms to fear. You can either forget everything and run, or you could face everything and you can rise. When you hit your lowest point, you are open to the greatest change. Be grateful for the obstacles in your life, because for me personally, it was those obstacles that gave me a sense of direction. It was those obstacles that forged my own inner diamond. And I want to encourage you all to use your time in college or graduate school to craft your mission and find your passion. The Washington Center stands on the notion that experience transforms. And it does. Experiences like these are helping you to transform your own personal inner diamond. You just don't know it yet. But you have to work hard and you have to persevere for it. What you put into an experience is exactly what you will get out of it. And regardless about how you felt about your internship this summer, the experience will help you navigate. Having a mission will give you a sense of direction, and having a sense of direction, this will in turn shape your inner diamond. Now, the second point of inner diamond formation is challenging yourself to take small actions. Now, for this point, I'm gonna need some help here. I cannot do this alone, I need your help. So can I get everybody in the room to do this for me? Now say file. Now say save as. You're gonna save this to your brain. So in our DNA, we are 0.5% different from each other in our genetic sequence, which is the reason for all of our physical differences. I'm pointing out because that little 0.5% makes such a huge difference in human diversity. It makes you extraordinarily unique. And I want to segue that into that in life, it's the little things that matter because they add up to big things that matter. For example, for our civic engagement, we each contributed 5 hours individually of community service. Now multiply that by 400 of us. That's 2,000 hours we impacted DC with this summer. Take a moment and think about that. Now individually, with our intern work, on average, we contributed 320 hours. Collectively as a class, that's 128,000 hours we impacted DC with intern work this summer. Everyone's little contribution made a difference. Don't ever underestimate the power of little things because they add up to become great, big things. And your contribution to that matters. It makes all the difference. And you don't always need to think about doing the greatest thing ever. Just take small actions, give 100%, and then put in that little extra effort. Now I'm gonna need your help once again. I cannot do this alone. I cannot make this message profound without your help. So can I get everybody in the room? Raise your hands as high as you can. As high as you can. Now freeze. Now, momentum. Raise your hands a little bit higher. See, you were able to do a little more effort. That's that little difference I was talking about. You can go beyond the 100%. The glass ceiling does not exist. Love you too, boo. That's the little difference you should be striving for, challenging yourself to take small actions is the heat and pressure needed to forge a diamond. Now, diamonds go through a cooling off period before they are completely transformed in the Earth's crust. The last step of inner diamond formation, this is encouragement, and we all need it. Encouragement for us is like that cooling off period to get through the heat and the pressure of the day. And encouragement ties into the small actions as well. It's something little that you could do each and every day. And this is the best part. It costs you nothing. $0 to become an encourager. The world has enough critics. Why don't we do something more challenging? Become an encourager. Now, I came across so many of awesome established individuals this summer, from the vice president of PepsiCo to the vice president of Verizon, and hey, even Nick Cannon. But one individual I profoundly remember this summer from volunteering at the Reason Rally, well, most of you can guess it, Bill Nye, the science guy. And what I profoundly remember from that encounter was how encouraging such an accomplished guy was towards me. I really felt at home there at that Reason Rally when I volunteered there. Now, while it was incredible to work with Bill Nye, it was one of the staff members, her name was Adrian, who was particularly supportive of my dreams and my ideals. And what I learned from her is that despite having a rocky past, life has a way of presenting to you the right opportunities at the right time. People like Adrian, along with a long list of other individuals like my supervisor, Talmisha Richards, and my coworker, Lee Zhang, made me realize how much encouragement means to someone. It was something I felt so deeply within those moments, and something I will always draw strength from moving forward. To all my TWC friends who I made this summer, thank you for being my family. Without you, I could have never made it to the very end. And I hope whoever I interacted with this summer, that I was able to encourage you at least once. Or at the very least, I just hope I made you laugh. I'm okay with that. But no, just like thank you, like individuals like my friends like Billy, Beth, Chen Yu, Ishmael, Joyce, Julie, Lewis, and all the rest of you guys. Thank you for sticking with me throughout the semester to the very end. Thank you for encouraging my heart. And sorry if I left any names out. I promise, I love you all equally. Now, encouraging the heart is the sparkle needed to forge a diamond. Now, hold up, there we go. All right. Now, if you don't get anything else out of this speech, please get this, that you matter. You are so unique in your own genetic code and your personality. And the world needs unique diamonds like you. So forge your own inner diamond by 1, knowing your direction, 2, challenging yourself to take small actions, and 3, encouraging the heart. And I want to encourage you to do this because momentum buildup. The best project you can and ever will work on in your life is you. I want to personally wish each and every one of you all the best. Congratulations, Washington Center, class of 2016. Now go, shine bright like a diamond.
Again, I'm not going to try to follow a student speaker. I am just coming up to say thank you, congratulations to everyone for completing your summer internship, and I would like to officially invite you all to the lobby for cupcakes. Thank you.